All right, hi, this video is going to be about using a particular inversion on a chord to add our notes at the bottom. So here's the chord of C major. You see it, you know it, you love it. If I play that in the second inversion, that puts this G note on the bottom, like this. Same exact note, no different. Up here, they're an octave apart, same note, higher or lower pitch. So if I play a C like this versus like this, it's just giving it that darker sound with the lower G rather than that lighter sound with the higher G. Like if I went up to this inversion, same three notes, C, E, and G. So when we're on this chord right here, I'm going to move my camera over. When we're on this chord, what we have with our fifth under our thumb is the ability to utilize our pair of sixths and our pair of sevenths in a meaningful way below our chord. So if I take that inversion and I raise my thumb, that is going from the 5, which is G, to the minor 6. Now, most of the time, that's used as a raised fifth, augmented. Right? But you can keep going up to the major 6 and up to the minor 7, which, when coupled with that major third, makes what they call the dominant 7th or blues 7th. Now, in this case, when I play this C7, which is a C major chord, C, E, and G, 1 major third and 5, with a minor 7 on top. If I play this down below like this, I'm going to put my thumb down there on the G to give it the full chord. I have C, 1, E, major third, G, my 5 down below, and now I have my sevenths in the middle, as well as my sixths. So I can use that 5 when I use my 6, major 6, or my minor 7. It's a really good sound. But if I'm not utilizing anything but my thumb raising, yes, technically I don't have that G note in there. I don't have the 5. But if I'm playing something and I'm gonna put a C octave in my left hand on the bottom underneath this chord. It's gonna be off screen. It's a really cool way to use the fifth with your thumb to use these notes and move off the fifth, thereby not using it. You can always add it in if you want. But this works off of every single one of your major chords. And how many major chords do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes that we can make a major or a minor chord off of. So like we have C and C minor. So if I put that G on the bottom, I'm using my C major. I could also use my C minor. Might not all sound as good. That's pretty cool. Very James Bond. You can find a use for that. Those are some cool sounds. And again, all I'm doing is taking my second inversion of C minor, where my fifth is on the bottom instead of on the top, and raising that. So use that, what I just did with C major, raising my fifth up and down, and with C minor, raising my fifth up and down, the only difference being choosing between the major and the minor third. Here's a C major chord, here's my 2/3 in the middle, this is 2, this is 4, so choosing a minor third or major third is simply a choice of 2 notes. Putting that 5 on the bottom leaves that the top choice. So if I go to any other chord, if I go to D major, if I go to G flat major, and you hear that same sound, the sound you're hearing is the sound of the numbers, F minor. any chord that I go to. You pick it, E flat major. You hear that same progression. The progression you're hearing in each of these different keys is the numbers. E minor. So try this out in each of the 12 keys with a simple major or minor chord using the second inversion. Here's G, let's do G, second inversion, and try it there. So every single chord is the same thing. The thing that unifies all of this is the numbers. So focus on it. I played in a bunch of different keys, and each time you're hearing the same progression. And that is the numerical progression, and that's what I want you to focus on. So find your chord, put the fifth on the bottom, and then practice raising your thumb. One last thing, you'll notice that I'm not playing the major seventh. And that is because when you get that far up, playing those two notes next to each other, any two notes next to each other are going to sound dissonant. So if I was to play a C major chord, and I wanted to put the major seventh on the bottom, a little more of a cluster than if I lay it out on top. Or if I did something like 5 and then the major 7 and the 3, and in the left hand I played a C octave in the bass, so at least I had that number covered. My 1 is in the left hand, my 5, major 7, and major 3rd are in the right hand. But really, when it comes to raising, it's more about the 5, both sixths, minor and major, and the minor 7, all right? And again, it makes different sounds based on your choice of third on top here in this second inversion. So I want you to explore that, and just remember, this is just a basic major or minor chord in the second inversion. The fifth is on the bottom. And we're just moving our thumb up and down. We're being conscious of the numbers. Augmented fifth, major 6, minor 7. And then when you hear that sound appear in a song that you're listening to, you can recognize it. Oh, major 7 is in there. A dominant seventh, a blues chord. Second inversion, get on it. Good luck.